stream! Welcome back to another session of the Dungeons of Ideris! Yippee! Yippee!
Yippee!
That was me moments ago before getting war. I meant this one, dumb. That was me, bro.
We're starting a little
Before
late.
my glass of water. Water. Dehydration.
Alright, so let's get into it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna let you guys explain what happened last session with your conversation with Valethel, since he was, or still is unaware of exactly what happened on that other island.
Oh.
Valethel, you are doing... I'll let you say what you're doing while they're gone.
I guess there's a question. Where did I go? Did I just go back?
You're at the town in Bathus, so if there's anything you want to do in the town in Bathus, I imagine as a bit, maybe suggestion, you were wanting to, spend more time building up the faith rather than chasing down what could just be random scribblings from inside the dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
That
Or-
working on the trigger button.
Working on the trigger brand or wanting to protect the town itself in their
I'll
absence.
say, and I'm gonna forget his name, unfortunately. What was the knight?
Varen?
Varen, there it is. Went to Varen, and after clobbering a goblin to death with my bare hands, I thought, well, while that was effective, I found that in my experience in the dungeon so far, there might be opportunities where ranged combat would be beneficial. That being said, Varen, I noticed that you use a rifle of sorts. So you see, I don't want a rifle of my own. However, I've been thinking about potential ways to combine the two fighting types. So, with your time and your grace, of course, if I may learn a thing or two about weapons, that would be fantastic.
Yep, he'll nod along and help you figure out some stuff. Given that he's from Fulgerhelm, he'll guide you towards those combination weapons, since he'd be familiar enough with them. However, he will preface with, his fighting style is probably going to end up similar to yours, given that he prefers a walking fortress kind of style, sort of banging on his medium armor to emphasize that fact. And he will forewarn you, you probably won't hit shit for quite a while, but there's nothing more intimidating than a guy in full armor shooting at you.
Juggernaut. Well, no worries. There are hopefully still applications. I'll hone my practice. I'll work on it. Of course, I still, when all else fails, have the good old bread and butter, and I, gesture to my sword.
Yep. Gives you a nod and will help you acquire a suitable weapon to start with. So you can pick out a combination weapon you want.
God, where do I find that list? Committing brother?
It'd be, under equipment, and you can add in the trait combination, and that should pull up all the weapons. Particularly, I would recommend probably just a gun sword, honestly.
Let's see here. Explosive dog slicer.
Yeah.
That's a goblin weapon.
That's a goblin weapon.
Goblin weapon detected. Yeah.
Dog
Gun
slicer.
sword, since it's oh, is this two-handed? I'd probably want a one-handed one, right?
Likely here. Let's find out.
Then probably the piercing one.
Blade of Fallen Stars.
I don't believe that one's a first level weapon.
No, that is currently 50,000 gold pieces worth.
Yeah. Oh, just the basic ass trigger brand could also work.
What was the first one you recommended?
What's it called? Piercing Wind or Trigger Brand. Both of those should be one-handed sword-like weapons. Oh, it's got a melee usage area. Yeah.
Let's do a trigger brand.
Gotcha. So, or you can check one on your.
Bam.
Bada bing, bada boom. All right. So you take a bit of time to learn, firing at some hay dummies, and true to his word, you don't really hit much until later on in the day. As the party returns, you can see the military vessel they were on coming in the horizon.
I also need to buy ammo.
Oh yeah, you can grab a bit of ammo for that. I think it should just be rounds, right there.
Yeah, rounds. I believe they are just like all across the board rounds.
No, there's like specific ones. Goddamn.
Yeah.
I'll look into the rounds. You guys RP it out.
Oh, of us
Alright.
now coming back.
Yeah, have you coming back?
Okay. Well, I would assume Valthel is in the what do you call it? God, what's the name of this? It's not like the estate. Yeah.
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 Yeah. As we sort of come back in, closing the door behind us.
You see me cleaning off a new weapon as like not traditional like cloth and oils and other kinds of cleaning for a blade, but like you see like a large rod and like musket rounds and gunpowder and all that, just working with this sword. I'm over by the table.
no
here,
what-
Myron.
No weapon.
Yes. I spent some time with Vander.
Very.
Varen.
Varen.
Spent
That's
some
from
time with Varen.
Arcane.
Yep. We had a long ass conversation about Vander. Varen. I found that there might be some opportunities where ranged combat might be beneficial. So, with his assistance and his guidance, of course, I've picked up and started to learn a very specific weapon here. And I, like, brandish the weapon, and you see as I twist the hilt, a little trigger pops out of a very suspiciously rounded blade.
Okay. Yeah, as you kind of look up towards at least Mr. Swell, there's almost a look of dread or like doom on his face. As he's kind of just making small talk and slowly making his way back over towards the the beer robot. No, it's probably not here anymore, actually.
Oh yeah.
It's probably in the bar. But yeah, he's kind of just making his way in next to Verlin and Terabot.
And Verlin, seeing that we're, it's just us in here, he'd take off his mask and his face would show that, yeah, he's a skeleton. He has no emotions on his face. And then he would go and probably sit down.
So, that being said, I took some time away from the dungeon, but you all had continued on. Seeing as everybody's still alive, I imagine things went well to an extent.
Yeah, everything in the dungeon went well. We found a couple of things there. Nice keg robot.
You see us dragging the fucking robot and just putting it really loudly on the fucking table.
Oh,
But
interesting.
yeah. So we found that, and then after that, well, we
And Verlin would look up to you, Mr. Swell, and kind of click all of his fingers together.
Yeah, and Mr. Swallow will kind of look to you and almost as a gesture of, should we say anything? Well, he'll look up to you actually. Should we say anything? Kind of look.
And yeah, I mean, Verlin would definitely give like a nod. I mean, it's him.
Well, we ended up going to the what's it called? The Whispering Island.
Yes.
The Whispering Island?
Yeah, that island, you know, off the coast over that way.
So you explored out of the dungeon and into the Whispering Island.
Yes.
Aye, we did. We ended up finding a cave down there. And
He sets the sword down like on the table and while sitting leans forward.
well, we ended up finding something that's well, we ended up finding this, and he'll kind of reach and pull out this like busted looking, like broken looking sword, and as you kind of look at it, it's kind of swelled in dark mana in a way. Like it's
like
not
pure black,
corrupted,
isn't
but
it?
yeah, it's like this deep black sword that's like beaten and broken, and it looks to have absorbed some level of dark mana to it. And he'll kind of hold it in his hand. Well, we ended up finding this on a another skeleton. Mighty fine piece, if I do say so myself. He'll kind of resheath it. He's kind of jury-rigged a strap to his back where he can hold it. And you notice that he has your old metal shield with the embossment of your religion on the front. A little bit worse for wear, but still all right. And well, we ended up finding that. And Mr. Swell will start walking over and kind of gesture Verlin to follow. Well, we ended up finding this, and he'll. Did you have the stone tablet, or did Mr. Swell? I don't remember.
I think I took it. Yeah.
Okay. And so Mr. Swell will kind of gesture Verlin to put the stone tablet down.
Yeah. So take a big old stone tablet and set it down on the table. And
We ended up finding that. And, well, we ended up finding a dossier, so to speak, a bit of information about, well, the world itself. Verlin, you go ahead, mate.
oh, needless to say, Volithel, the world is not very kind. In fact, the thing that we learned down there is, I should now preface now that it from here forward is never to be said. Understand?
You have my confidence.
In fact, and like look around the room. Can I like make sure there's like nothing listening in? Like,
Perception.
all right,
Yeah, Mr. Swell will also go lock the door, by the way.
11.
11?
Yeah.
As far as you know, there's no one nearby.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll a secondary perception.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll
wait.
have Mr. Swell lock the door.
Yeah, I gotcha.
I think my class spells are supposed to naturally be on my, or my school spells are supposed to be on my sheet normally, right?
Your what spells?
My school spells? Or do they
maybe.
count towards the 3
You
I have? 'Cause I
gotta
don't
be
think they're supposed
fucking
to.
kidding me.
So long as it
Guys?
looks as your path builder. Yeah, there's no one there.
Okay. On Pathfinder, I'm pretty sure it's supposed
Also,
to be.
forgive me,
open.
on a separate note, how do I open up? Oh, never mind. Found it. I'm going to add my orbs to the party stash.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what we ended up finding out, all right, is that Mr. Swole kind of look around nervously, seeing that everybody else is looking around, already making sure that everything's good to go. We ended up finding out that the world is alive. And it speaks and, well, at the very least it thinks.
And it
What? My dog's
it hates us.
Sorry. The world is alive. And it hates us.
Yes.
Aye. That's
Me and
correct.
Mr. Swell experienced that firsthand, in fact.
Oh, we did. There was a dossier we were talking about. We ended up burning it. That kind of information shouldn't exist.
And just
If I do.
Wait, you burnt the dossier?
Yes, and we'll tell you why in a minute.
Aye, we did. We decided it'd be best if that kind of information stayed between us. Wouldn't want what I'm about to tell you to get out to anybody. And I know you're giving confidence, but I mean it. Deadly seriously. This stays between all of us.
I mean no disrespect by confirming this piece of knowledge.
You are
However-
getting more and more muffled.
Hello?
Yeah, you're good.
There
You're
you
good,
go.
you're good.
Alright. I mean no disrespect when I ask this. Of course, I'm just searching for clarity. Are you certain there was no presence of illusions or hallucinogens or anything that would affect the mental capacities?
I am a skeleton.
Aye, mate. Aye, mate. I'm from the Fae. I know when somebody's fucking with your head.
I know
This
you're
is
my
real.
little bud.
You speak? Oh, you were like Ren. Crazy. Well, besides that point, well, what profane knowledge have you discovered beyond the fact that the world is living and it hates us?
Well, the world can grant wishes for free at any time, as long as the magnitude of suffering is appropriate.
And anyone can do it.
From the lowliest peasant to the highest king. Me and Verlin were kind of talking on the boat ride back, and we might think that's why the dungeon exists. Says so on the tablet. Or, well, we think it might say so on the tablet.
Well, you're saying that the dungeon is linked to this. So, just to, pull it all into clarity. What gives people this ability in the first place? Is it an item that they need to find in that
No.
cave, or
No.
No, mate. It's a desire to make a wish. And that's it.
Just exists.
so simply anybody on this world?
Indeed.
Yep.
From the lowliest peasant to the highest king, mate.
And the only thing needed in order to grant these wishes is, you said, sufficient suffering?
Yes.
Aye.
Price to be paid?
Aye. So if I were to give an example, let's say I wanted to wish for a kingdom of my own. Aye. If that kingdom were to be built on top of suffering, that would be a sufficient cost. I would get my kingdom, but the people underneath me would suffer. It's kind of like that. As long as it grants suffering, causes suffering, the wish will be granted.
This could also be in the future, through the butterfly effect, it could cause suffering.
Aye.
Ordeal. So
We could all...
our
Go ahead, sorry.
working theory, if someone created the dungeon for a form of infinite resources, the suffering that it creates is the people that go in and die constantly trying to come out with said resources.
Aye, and I mean, look at the land surrounding it. Look at all of Ideris. That's massive suffering, if I'd ever say so. People are struggling to survive.
That's certainly a lot to take in.
Indeed. So once
By the way,
again,
with this newfound knowledge, you two also gain the action to make a prayer.
Your last prayer.
yeah.
I feel like with one of my free actions being called desperate prayer, I might click the wrong thing and then end the world.
You're on
Yeah,
something.
it's not actually going to be sat on your sheet, but just keep
Yeah.
in mind. You can.
Yeah.
Monkey's paw.
The monkey paw curls.
Wished for a bigger penis at the cost of no balls.
Those genes will never be passed down.
Yeah.
The end of a bloodline.
Wish for a big penis at the cost of passing out every time.
All the blood flow gone from the brain. Well, this is. I may need to meditate after that. Seek answers in prayer. I'm assuming
lot to
that this
take
is
in.
what the dossier had detailed then,
Yeah.
and henceforth its destruction, a precautionary measure from the information escaping.
Yes.
Aye. This isn't the kind of thing you just want anybody to have.
Yeah.
Like I said, look at Ideris. And besides, there's, I think Verlin was talking about it a bit, there was local rumors about a giant fireball that had erupted over that place. Could have been something to do with it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And the, bloke we found their sword on, and he'll kind of pull it out again and, like, lay it on the table, gently. When I tuned to it, it, gave me a bit of extra power. I'm gonna see if I can't figure out anything more about it and the guy who had it before us.
Hey, Cyber.
Yeah.
Can I reach out to my god and through religion try to discern whether or not this item is like evil? If it feels evil or if it feels wrong?
You can roll religion.
I'll try and roll religion.
This is the sword of Asmodeus, the great devil of the hells.
21. The teachings of your religion tell you that certain types of mana are inherently evil. Dark mana being one of them. So while you may use it to your
sorry.
own purposes... Oh. You good?
Oh.
His headset ran out of power or something, didn't it?
I think
Right.
so.
There we go. Sorry. Yeah, headset did. I'm back.
Okay. Your teachings tell you that certain types of mana are inherently evil in how they act on their own. So while you may use that mana to your own purposes, you do so with the full knowledge that, it is not good mana. This sword, you don't even really need to, consider it for even a moment. This thing is heavily suffused in dark mana, a inherently evil type.
Deus Bolt grabs the gun.
Your powers come at a dark price, Swell. You know, likely as I do, that this blade is suffused with dark energies, drawn from a darker place. Of course, you may use it to any deeds that you wish. But be careful where you seek power. And be careful of those who may covet said power.
Oh, don't worry, mate. I know well enough. And he'll reach out and grab the sword and kind of sheath it back in its place. I'm from the Fae, mate. You don't make deals with just anybody. Gotta know who's got your back. And who's gonna bite it when things go to shit.
Also, there is another thing that needs to be mentioned. We did not go to the Whispering Isles on our own accord exactly. We actually found an engraving on the wall in the dungeon.
Right.
Speaking about the Isle.
Oh yeah.
And
It
on
might
top
be
of
from the
that-
bloke who had this, and he'll pull out the
Yeah.
pocket watch while you're saying this stuff.
Yeah. We found this in the dungeon as well. It's rather new, meaning it's from someone of our time who's definitely from here, given the
And what was it you said?
engraving. It's
A golden pocket watch.
Hmm.
So no engravings, no nothing. It's a very fine make, a very beautiful pocket watch, but there's no identifying markings. So Mr. Swell will say, "Oh, I went to do a bit of research, and well, looks like our well, at least when it comes to the watch, it's gonna take me to Fulgerhelm. Gotta see if anybody there made it."
The important info here is that this is a person who knows this secret of the world. They're not the only one that we know of. The Kitsune lady, Aiko, that we have met, has also mentioned that she made a wish upon the world.
Oh, Jesus, that's probably how she has gotten her powers.
In other
Her
words,
ability to be a pain in the ass and not die.
yes. There are people that we need to find, and I think one of them is this person, whoever had the pocket watch.
I think it might also behoove us, sorry, and just had this thought, to try and figure out about these concepts as well. You were, I don't know about you, mates, but, I was kind of just born with mine. How do concepts come about, Cyber? Like, when, would it have been like, oh, when Mr. Swell hit a certain age, he just randomly got it? Or is it always through, like, a stressful or dangerous event? Or, like, how do those manifest?
When you were born, you would have inherently knew that you had it, but it's not like you could really, express or do anything with that knowledge.
Got you, okay.
As eventually in a stressful situation, though, the concept would have actually shown through. Valethel would be an expressly unique circumstance, though, given that his is always passively happening.
Right.
So it would have been unknown, really, to him what it did until he got hit with something mana-based.
Right. Okay.
Maybe someone accidentally blew up an orb in one of the churches, like a light orb, and he just stood there and tanked it.
A terrorist come in with a bomb. Just fucking- Not by my standards. Alright, so Mr. Swell will speak again. It might behoove us to do a bit of investigating on these concepts. I know that Aiko woman had spoken about it before, but it seems a little odd that there are, 16 of us all in the same spot.
Yes.
'Cause we don't even know where these concepts come from.
Or what causes them to begin with.
Aye. Well, you're more magically inclined than me, so might be your area of expertise.
I wish I could tell you. I simply woke up with mine. It's definitely something we'll have to research.
Aye. Well, that's about everything. Oh, right. At the deepest parts of the dungeon, the stone tablet talks about it a bit, but it says that the truth is at the bottom of the dungeon. Now, whatever the fuck that means, I've got no clue. But it's something to aim for, at the very least.
You did mention that it is godly power enough to rule all the world, I believe, correct?
Is that
Something
correct,
along those
Cyber?
lines, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, even if it's not to use it for ourselves, but keep it out of the hands of people who might want to. I don't think anything like this should fucking exist, frankly. Especially to any random asshole who can get down there and get it. It's too chancy. I don't like it.
I agree.
But, I don't think we're forgetting any of the bigger details. I did say I was shit at riddles and then immediately solved one though, so that was pretty nice.
Mm.
It's probably the only good thing to come out of all of this. But anywho, that's about it.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna take this tablet and I'm going to go and toss it in the stash.
Alright.
Kind of like bury it
sure-
under the fucking gold coins.
Yeah. Mr. Swall would suggest that you hide that somewhere, very fucking well.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, with that sorted, I know what a few of my plans are. Do we have any other additional plans for the, coming weeks?
Nothing for me. I mean, other than continuing to grow Bathus and gain influence and grow closer to the church. I suppose along the way we could go back into the dungeon to search for more materials, but I am wondering, with the materials we have so far, is there anything that we can achieve? Because we've
Good question.
gathered quite a lot.
Unsure. Actually, do we have enough to sustain more than a month? Because I think we actually are currently out. Aren't we?
Of what specifically?
Of mana orbs to sustain Bathus.
Well, which two orb types do we need? We need water and
Water and
nature, right?
Yeah.
We have
let's-
both. We have 4 water orbs and 2 nature mana orbs.
So we have technically have 2 months.
That being said, we could venture into the dungeon again to try and gather more resources. Unless there's
Okay.
anything else we would like to try and do before then.
Well,
I would.
go
I
ahead,
have
sorry.
this new. No worries. I have this sword here, and you know, after some training, I think it is ready for field use.
Oh, make sure you move all of your runes onto that. Can you do that? That is a thing you can do, right, Cyber?
I
Yeah, you
might.
can just move your runes.
Yeah.
So if I have this +1 striking Grievous Scimitar, or my striking Bastard Sword, am I able to move that to Triggerbrand?
Yeah, you could move all your sword stuff over. I'll let you handle that unless you want me to.
I'll take a look at how I'm able to go about doing that. Do you know how?
Basically just put the same runes on the other one and then remove the runes from the last one.
How do I get into those settings for the swords? Probably not in my... Probably in the equipment tab, ain't it? Oh, yeah.
Yep, an equipment tab, and there's an edit item one.
Got it. I'll remove it from the Bastard Sword, put it on Triggerbrand.
Also, you should be able to repair up your shield a little bit, since it's missing just 6 measly hit points.
Got it.
I'm not gonna bother with this map.
Do I need to roll for that, or is that just...
No. Go ahead and get a free one on it. It's not like you don't have all the time in the world to bang out every little dent.
I'm also going to, in that time, rest for the rest of everything.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we should all be full health because it's been like a week or something since or a
Yeah.
week or 2.
It's been 2 weeks, I believe.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're either going to move into a week of downtime, or you'll be moving to the dungeon.
So didn't you want to go to the Fulgur Helm?
Yeah, so it's like 2 things that I would like to do. I would like to do a bit of investigating in Fulgurhelm, and I would also like to see if I can't learn more about this sword, or the Dark Gate of,
Gotcha. Downtime week it is.
Downtime!
Let's go with you first, Swell.
Yeah,
Tell me how you're going about your investigation.
Oh god. I mean, Mr. Swell's pretty decent at talking to people. But I guess. Okay, guys, stop. I guess it would really depend on the contacts they have made regarding, like mana specifically, like people who handle it, manufacture it, not manufacture it, but like handle it and like deal with it more often. Like he would try and seek those particular kinds of people. Obviously, Varen as well. He would like to speak with about it, but also just any trusted individuals who know more about mana than him. He would like to go to and
So-
see if he can't find people.
Out of individuals that you would know, it would probably be just Varen, just because, you know, he's a general, so he's must be experienced in this.
Ooh, I would also like to go see that dwarf
Oh, that dwarf. Okay.
as well. Since it's a weapon, he might know a bit more about its inner workings than, you know, Swell.
Okay.
So Varum and that guy. I can't remember the dwarf's name though. Shit. Give me a second. Probably have it in my notes.
So, what do you go ask Varen about? In
Just
particular?
essentially, just essentially if he knows anything about the dark mana, or if he knows any other kineticists, since he's been here way longer than he has, if he knows any other kineticists in the area who might know something about a dark gate or dark mana at all.
Hold on a second. One second, I'm just pulling up his sheet.
You're all good. I'll be right back. I gotta let my dog just back in anyway, so
Okay.
you go ahead and take your time.
Go. Where's his level? There we go. Yeah. He'd probably be around about there for this kind of stuff. And... Okay, yeah, that's how I do that. And... Bing. Okay, I got that ready. Now I need to think about that Dwarven guy. Probably like this level.
Okay.
Alright,
that.
so Varen's field of expertise very much is not magically inclined.
Right.
His knowledge about dark mana is like industry uses.
Right,
which
right.
is very, very few. Given if you need dark mana, you can go outside.
Yeah.
And if anything, most of their industry is around getting rid of dark mana. So, what he can tell you is that that sword has probably been corroded by the darkness, since anything that is outside of a dark ward will over time tend to just turn to dust or shadow.
Okay.
So, the fact that it's still standing means it was either newly placed or it is quite the potent sword. And given you said it's magical, he'll assume the latter rather than the former.
Got it.
Beyond that, there's not much he can provide you on dark kineticists, as, again, that's not something he very much keeps up with.
Okay. Or any, like, important kineticists in the state at all? Like, you wouldn't know anything about that?
No, you're probably the only kineticist he really knows by name.
Fair enough. Okay. He will thank him and make his way to the dwarf then. See if the dwarf knows anything.
Alright. The dwarf, when you bring the blade to him, because that's, I assume, what you're going to talk to him about.
Yeah.
He will remark that it's gives him a faint sense of deja vu, but it's too much of a piece of shit to really figure out what the hell's going on with it.
I mean, that's fair enough. So, deja vu. I mean, we found it on the corpse of a skeleton. Can't tell you much about it, though.
He will comment that a lot of people find swords on skeletons.
Fair
If
enough.
you need any more info, your best bet is probably the library.
Okay. Then Mistress Well would go to the library.
The library.
To the library.
To the library.
Roll me a secret perception.
Oh, secret perception check. How the fuck do I do that?
So, right next to where you have perception, there's an eye.
I
That you
see.
can click on to roll it in secret.
Okay. Did that work?
It didn't.
Did.
It did indeed. And I assume you
Good.
don't know your roll?
No, I have no clue.
Perfect. Alright. As you're looking through books,
the Frostmourne. Sorry, go ahead.
you realize very quickly, sword in hand, that you're not going to particularly find anything based on description alone, because if it's been corroded, then odds are it is not exactly the same sword it once was.
Right.
So you proceed to look around for anything that's more, has like pictures in it, or would be related to dark in general. And you do find one book in particular that's actually a children's book.
Oh.
It
Okay.
talks about how, since you're not a child, so you can really get the actual meaning behind why someone would write this book. It seems to be a cautionary tale on venturing outside the walls of your city into the dark lands. About how the fetid corpses of adventurers that had fallen out there and those that had died within the dark mana quake rise up as shadows to haunt the living. And one amongst them exists, the Dark Primal and their large sword,
Okay.
who scour through the night and murder all those that it comes across.
Huh. Okay. So, Mr. Swell kind of taking in that information, oh no. That's ominous. Okay. Oh shit. That's what I'll say. I'll say, well, shit.
The book describes a bit about the Dark Primal. It's about as tall as a 2-story building.
Oh sh.
It's made out
Okay.
of pure dark mana, and appears to be a greater form of an elemental, beyond even that of the avalanche you fought. The sword itself is also said to be fit to its size. So as you're reading through it, you get the faint feeling that this book is based on something more real, rather than just a children's fairy tale.
Right.
Or rather, similar to most other fairy tales, there is some historical connection.
Hint of truth to this.
Yeah,
Okay.
that the book doesn't explicitly tell you about.
Got you. Okay. In that case, unless there's anything more.
Oh, there's nothing more from that book.
Okay. In that case, Mr. Swell would like to look up any information about this Dark Primal. And he would also like to try and look up any historical adventure, like famous adventurers in the area.
Gotcha. One moment, please.
You're dead. You've been struck by lightning. You're done. Oh, no. Okay.
You open up the book and you're just like obliterated.
Exodia. Obliterate.
Obliterate this man.
Too bad I ain't a man. I'm bees. Idiot.
True. He's many bees. In fact,
I'm at least 5 bees.
that means you're unbliteratable. It's that easy.
Unbliteratable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you hit that one funny bee that controls all the other bees, and then I'm dead.
I thought he was a chair. No. He's a campfire.
I wanted to be a chair. But the DM said, no, you can't play a chair. You have to be a real person. And I was like, fine. I am also a campfire, though. I can turn into a campfire. I don't know what practical benefit that will give me ever at all whatsoever, but... Well, yeah, okay, yeah, but when, where?
You're in the middle of a forest. The party gets ambushed. You're a campfire. They're like, ah, we can take these two assholes. So, bam, there's a third.
Boom, gotcha, idiot, I'm a campfire. Fuck you. Or I wait for adventurers to come sit around me, and then I'm like, I got you, idiots, and then I burn them all alive, I guess. I don't know.
Dark
I
Souls
know.
player, like, finally, a bonfire.
If
Thank
for some
God.
reason we need to like burn
I'm
down
the bonfire mimics.
if you need to like burn down a house and make sure they don't know it's you.
Hello?
You know, hey,
I can just turn into a campfire.
yeah,
Hey,
be like, shit, there's more burning wood. Hey.
aw, damn.
So, among 4 famous adventurers, there isn't much. Ideris' history doesn't even span a century.
Wow,
It is a
okay.
very new place, all things considered. The names you would see brought up would be those of famous delvers that have, gone quite... But the most prominent one you would see would be the Grand Wizard of Ideris, who, as quoted, was there before even the dark.
Discus. Sorry. And is the Grand Wizard still alive?
Yep. You've actually
Oh.
seen him. Back during your ceremony.
Oh, shit. Okay. So he might know a thing or two. Okay.
Beyond that, you'd also see Varen's name mentioned among the other generals in a number of books.
I know that guy.
Oh, fucking
What?
Raven got held by Automod because he typed Grant the Grand Wizard, and apparently that is race, ethnicity, or religion.
It is. Yeah, a Grand Wizard is a KKK thing.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yikes. But we're not talking about that kind of Grand Wizard. We're talking
Yeah.
about the D&D kind.
Yeah,
Yes.
Anything
we love
about
casting
the...
spells.
we love casting spells.
Never mind, I'm not gonna say that. Okay, so...
Okay.
What about the Dark Primordial?
For the Dark Primordial, you struggle to find anything about it in particular. However, you decide that maybe going to a librarian might help you. Do you choose to do that?
Excuse me, Miss Librarian, I'll need a bit of... Yeah, I'm just kidding. She's screaming. Wait, no, don't... Yeah, I would go to a librarian.
They would be able to point you towards a very specific book. Some dusty old tomb that seems to carry a bit about the history of Ideris. As you can tell by them talking about it and from the tomb itself, seems no one really wants to discuss this kind of history.
Oh, great. It's in, like, the fucking far back of the library, behind the locked door, and, like, the... place where nobody goes. Got it. Okay.
In the tomb, you will find a bit of history of Ideris from before the Dark hit. Back when it was still a part of Fulgurhelm. In fact, the tomb would tell you that the entirety of Ideris used to be Fulgurhelm itself. And a noble house used to sit where Ideris now sits.
Okay.
And on the continent, besides the Storm King, there were 2 concepts. One was capable of creating a race of dragonkin from out of nowhere, presumably, and hid away itself in the mountains to terrorize the nearby noble house from time to time.
Okay.
Given they were a concept, they were incredibly difficult to deal with and outright impossible to remove. The second was one of Ideran nobility. There we go. A person by the name of Alice who held the concept of font darkness. Or more well known as the Font of Darkness.
And this is before... Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah. There's no exact witness to it, but it is presumed that Alice, using their font, opened up a uncontrolled ley line of darkness, which infected the continent, destroying everything.
Hmm.
No one is sure to the why or how, but at least according to the book, they never will know, as both concepts died as a result of it.
And that's what caused the darkness to fucking spread, or presumably.
Yep,
What
and
caused
what
the dark-
causes its continued spread, a permanent curse upon the land.
Mr. Swell will very kindly ask the nice librarian woman if he can keep the book.
Yeah, you can check out the book.
Okay. Yeah, and Mr. Swell, just so that way I have it to bring back to Verlin, actually. So that way he'll pocket the book and thank the very nice librarian, and then he'll walk out and kind of peer over to the side to where the castle is for Ideris. What would he need to do to get in contact with the wizard? Would he need to make an appointment? I would assume he would need to make an appointment.
It is assumed, yes, you would very much need to make an appointment.
Okay. Mr. Swell then would go to make... I love the visual of this cursed man just go, excuse me, can I make an appointment to see the wizard at the tower? I've got a bit of business I need to speak to him with. But yeah, Mr. Swell will go to an office and go to make a visitation with the wizard. And if
All right.
asked what for, it's to speak about the prior history of Ideris.
You're able to potentially get an appointment in the next 3 months. You'll find out if you can get that appointment after those
Next
3
fucking
months.
3 months, lady. Are you fucking kidding me? Alright, fine. I appreciate you, sorry. I just... Where I'm from, I'm used to being a bit more loosey-goosey than this. Thank you. And he'll fuck off.
Yep, it seems you need a bit more pull in the Mage College if you wish to see him in any